Hello friends, my name is Dhiren Gohil. As we know, history is informative subject and when there is too much of information comes together, it is very difficult to remember. So here with this video, I have tried to make it little more easy and interesting. I hope you would love it. So let's start today's topic, medieval history of Gujarat. The duration of the medieval history of Gujarat is 746 CE to 1304 CE. Do you know what do we mean by CE and BCE? CE means the after the birth of Christ era and BCE means before the birth of Christ era. In this chapter, we are going to learn about Patola of Patan, history of Patan, Chawda Dynasty, Solanki Dynasty, Vaghela Dynasty, heroic queens of the above dynasties, administration, architecture and culture. Before we start the chapter, Medieval Gujarat, we will know some of the interesting facts of Patola of Patan. I hope you have heard this word before, Patola. Here is the picture of the beautiful Patola. Patola is one kind of sari. The approximate starting price of this Patola is 2 lakhs. Patan is the place where first time Patola making started. Most of the time, the lady wears patola during the occasion of baby shower. In the beginning, the people who were making the patola, they chose the design of patola from the Rani Ki Vav's pillar. The Rani Ki Vav was built by Udaymati. The patola is made with such creativity and skill that it can be passed through a ring. The medieval age is started in 746 CE and extended till 1304 CE. During this time, the Chawda, the Solanki and the Vaghela dynasties ruled over Gujarat. After them, the Sultanate and Mughal rulers ruled over Gujarat. Dynasty means same family's generations. During their reign, the capital of their kingdom was Anhilpur Patan, that is currently Anwada village, which is very near to Patan. But later during the reign of Sultanate and Mughal rulers, it was changed. So first, we will know about the Chawda Dynasty. According to the historical text, the Chawda Dynasty ruled over Panchasar. Here in the picture, we can see the Panchasar is located and marked with the circle. The ruler of Panchasara was Jaishikri. He died in one of the wars, so his son, Vanraj Chawda, recaptured his father's kingdom and established a new kingdom which was known as Anhilwad Patan. There is also a reason behind keeping the name Anhilwad Patan. It is believed that his friend Anhil helped him in getting the kingdom and hence the territory was named Anhilwad Patan after him. The Chawda dynasty ruled over Gujarat for approximately 196 years. Thereafter, the Solanki dynasty ruled over Gujarat. During the rule of the Solanki dynasty, Gujarat became very prosperous. The kings of this dynasty, Mulraj Solanki, Bhimdev Solanki, Siddharaj Jaisi, Kumarpal, were among the great rulers. The famous scholar Kalika Sarvagna Shri Hemchandracharya was encouraged during the rule of Siddharth Jaisingh. During the reign of Siddharth Jaisingh, Anhilwad Patan became the main center of education and was known as Vidyadham. On his proposal, Shri Hemchandracharya wrote a book on grammar, Siddhem Shabdanushashan. After its completion, the book was placed on the seat tied onto an elephant and the procession was carried throughout the city. Both the king, Siddharth Jaisingh, and the composer Sri Hemchandracharya accompanied the procession on foot. It was the first time that a literary text was given such enormous respect. The prosperity of Gujarat reached its apex during the reign of Kumapal. At this time, the mixture of non-violence, prosperity, education was noticed in Anhilwad Patan. Means all the three main things, that is Ahimsa, Lakshmi and Saraswati, are together. Anhilwad Patan had not only dynamic kings and academicians, but the queens were also equally dynamic. So, first we will know about the Queen Udaymati. The Queen Udaymati built a step well for the welfare of her subjects. This step well is known as Rani Ki Vav, which is very much famous in Gujarat. This step well, consisting of 7 levels, is an unparalleled example of art and architecture. The beautifully carved stone idols tells us of the glory and prosperity of the Solanki era. Now we will get the information about the Minal Devi. Queen Minal Devi was the mother of the King Siddharth Jaisingh. She was much concerned about the welfare of his subjects and gave up the pilgrimage tax. The Malav Lake at the Dholka and the Munsar Lake at Viramgam were constructed on her instructions. The Sahasralinked Lake of Patan was constructed during the reign of the King Siddharth Jaisingh. Now we will know about Naika Devi. After the death of King Ajaypal, his son being too young, Queen Naika Devi, his mother, took over the responsibility of the kingdom. Queen Naika Devi exhibited enormous courage, tied her small son to herself, led the army of Gujarat into the battle and successfully defeated Shahabuddin Ghori. After the Solanki Dynasty, the Vaghela Dynasty ruled over Gujarat. The last emperor of the dynasty was Karandev Vaghela. He was defeated by Alauddin Khilji and it brought to the end of Rajput rule over Anhilwad Patan. During the Sultanate era, Ahmad Shah established Ahmedabad in 1411 CE. Thereafter, Patan ceased being the capital of Gujarat. During the Solanki era, the king was the most powerful of all. The various departments of the kingdom were handled by different ministers. The most important minister was known as Mahamatya, who looked after the finance department. The most important department of the administration was known as Mandal, means in our language we can say state. The capital of this kingdom was located on the banks of the river Saraswati and hence it was known as Saraswati Mandal. The subsection of the mandal was known as Pathak, means districts. There were several such Pathaks which included many villages within their folds. Mandals such as Kutch Mandal, Saurashtra Mandal, Khetak Mandal, that is Kheda, Lat Mandal, Medpat Mandal were present during this time. Now we will understand about the architecture and culture of medieval Gujarat. Many magnificent Jain temples were built during this time. The architecture of this time exhibited the Rajasthani style of temple carving. The Sun Temple of Modhera, the Vimalavashi Temple of Abu were constructed in the 11th century. You can see the beautiful photos. While the Rudra Mahalay Temple, the reconstructed Somnath Temple were built in the 12th century. You can also see the photos below. The 13th century saw the construction of the Dilwara temples of Mount Abu, which we can see in the photo here. Along with the temple architecture of Gujarat, other architectural works such as lakes, forts, gateways, arcs of temples, that is torans, were also included. Among all, the Kirti Torans, the Kirti Toran of Vadnagar is very famous. Manuscripts were usually written on the palm leaves, that is Tadpatra. Margins were drawn along the four sides of these 2-3 feet long and 2-3 inch wide leaves, and within that limited space, writings or drawings were executed. Besides this, a lot of literary work on Jainism was accomplished during the Solanki era, like the Davyashri Granth. Many books were written in Persian and Gujarati. Many famous mosques were built during the Sultanate as well as the Mughal era. The famous Siddhi Sayyid Grill of Ahmedabad and the Sarkej Droja Mosque were constructed during that time. Look at the beautiful photos. Thus, during the medieval age, for almost 560 years, Gujarat was ruled over by different dynasties. This can be seen by the architectures and the literary works of that period. Thank you for watching the video. Good day. Bye.